Would anyone like to do the verse? If you want, just raise your hand, I'll call you. No one wants to do the verse? Okay, we'll go to the translation. Is there a hand that went up that I didn't see? No? Okay, please do it. Go ahead. I want to see the verse. Go ahead.
Sankalpa Prabhavatama Tyakva Sarvanaseshataha Manasairindriyagramam Viyamya Samantataha.
Anyone else? Okay, I don't see a hand, so we'll go on to the translation. One should engage himself in the presence of yoga with determination and faith, and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation, and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. I was just hearing all the sound. Please take the children down away from the doorways. Thank you very much. Let's do it together. One should engage himself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith, and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires, born of mental speculation, and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. The yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, it's from Nectar of Instruction, that's the name of the book, Utsahan Nishchaya Darayat Tatat Karma Pravartana Sangatyagat Sato Vrite Sadbir Bhakti Prasidyati, which means one can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm and perseverance and determination by following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees. I'll repeat that. By following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees, and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. That's from the Upadeshamrita, text number 3. As for determination, one should follow the example of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of the ocean. A sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. The sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean, "Return my eggs." The ocean did not even consider her appeal. So the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. She began to pick out the water in her small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. The news of her activity spread, and at last Garuda, the gigantic bird carrier of Lord Vishnu, he heard it. He became very compassionate toward the small sister bird, and so he came to see the sparrow. Garuda was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. Thus Garuda at once asked the ocean, "Varuna, return her eggs, lest I myself will take up the work of the sparrow." And he could do it too. The ocean was frightened at this and returned the eggs. Thus the sparrow became happy by the grace of Garuda. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada says, the practice of yoga, especially bhakti yoga, Krishna consciousness, may appear to be a very difficult job, certainly at the beginning. But if anyone follows the principles with great determination, the Lord will surely help, just as the Garuda, his chariot, came to help. The Lord is ready to help us at any moment, every second, every day, wherever we are and whatever we're doing, if we beg the Lord for his mercy, for his guidance, for his direction, for his help. Krishna consciousness may appear, as I said, to be a very difficult job, but Krishna can make it very easy for all of us. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances under his lotus feet and pray that he bring his mercy upon all of us so that we may all become God-realized and be filled and flooded with love for Lord Sri Krishna and Sri Radha. So we will begin. Today's talk is titled Enthusiasm and Determination. Let me begin by saying that if we want to achieve some goal, it's very important to have those two particular qualities, determination and enthusiasm. And enthusiasm will help our determination, and our determination will help our enthusiasm. But what do I mean by enthusiasm? We all have some general idea of it. Enthusiasm is an eager readiness, an eagerness to accomplish something, an eagerness to achieve, an eagerness to fulfill, an eagerness to manifest something which is far away initially, but eventually becomes closer and closer and closer as we draw closer to the goal. So, for example, many of us, most of us go to school, and if you want to move from one grade to another, then you have to have some degree of enthusiasm, at least to study examinations. If you don't have enthusiasm, you don't pass the examinations, because you have to memorize so many different facts, and you have to understand so many facts. You have to explain them in essays. So therefore, we all have some idea of enthusiasm. But here we are now talking about developing the most important goal of life, which is pure love of God. God is all powerful. God is all knowing. God is all loving. God is present everywhere, and especially in our hearts. And since he is in our hearts, he can hear our every thought. And if we learn the art of developing humility towards the Lord, humility is simply feeling that I am small and God is immense. And I just explained why. He is, although when he's living in the material world, he's unaffected by the material world. He's unaffected by the three modes of material nature, such as goodness, passion, and ignorance. He has 6 different opulences, such as beauty and wealth and strength, power and influence. He has fame. People are still talking about him for 5,000 years. We have great athletes and great politicos here, and we have great actors and actresses. So after 20, 30, 50, 75 years, hardly anybody even knows the names of these people. I go back to 1940s and then 1950s, and if I say the name Alan Ladd, for example, he was an actor. Anybody know of him? Of course not, hardly, unless you just watch old-time movies. So they're forgotten, and hardly any of their movies are watched. Or whether it's a sports athlete, or whether it's a political great. These names fade, but Krishna never fades. It's been going on since time immemorial in different names, in different places. We have Krishna, we have Govinda, we have Madhava. These are all different names of Krishna. And sometimes the names change only because they are associated with certain incidents or certain events at certain times and places. So Krishna is all powerful and all-loving, very compassionate, very kind, and he manifested 500 plus years ago as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show what it's like to be an ideal devotee. He opened the storehouse of love of God. Krishna kept it locked for those persons who were especially devoted. But Lord Chaitanya gave it out everywhere and anywhere. He walked on the roads. He chanted, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He would walk and he would shout and he would dance and he would embrace people, no matter what they were, whether they were low class, middle class, high class. He gave it out unstintingly and unreservedly. And consequently, literally, millions of people became Krishna conscious as a result. Did you want to give the lecture? You sure? Well, I could use an assistant, really. I think more people would listen to him than me, to him or her, but anyway, he's a very beautiful child, and don't keep him too close because I'll be totally forgetful of what I wanted to say. Okay. I don't think anybody would watch me, I watch the kid. So, so Lord Chaitanya was, he gave out this mercy of love of God. He wanted everyone in every town, every village, every community to be chanting Hare Krishna. Because it is mentioned that in the earlier ages, or the earlier era of Satya Yuga, where everyone tended to be very truthful, austere, merciful, clean, it was really like the perfect society. And that time, people entered into meditation. They closed their eyes, they fixed their mind between their eyebrows, and they were able to see the Lord within. They were pure, they were steady-minded, concentrated, focused, fixed. And then we went into a new age. The whole age lasts for 4,320,000 years. So a certain amount of that time was for, as I said, Satya Yuga, that pure time. The next was Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga was about 1,200,000